So today I'd like to talk about facing difficult emotions and cultivating the mindful awareness to deal with stuff as it comes up in the present moment. Now, far too often people can find it quite difficult to deal with pain, with sadness, with anger. So they can try and push it down. And there's so many ways you can do that in this modern world. You can drown it out with alcohol, binge watching on Netflix, addiction to sex. There's so many different ways. Overeating. There's so many tactics that we have for pushing down that pain so that we don't have to deal with it. But sooner or later this stuff does find a way out. And it may be that the anger that you didn't deal with in a past relationship like 2 years ago will project its way out in it'll come out, it'll get triggered in some other altercation, and that repressed anger will find an outlet eventually. So what you try and bury does come to the surface, and things that do get buried, these trapped emotions, can also end up manifesting as physical illness as well. So it's much better to allow it to come in the moment. You've got to feel to heal. I don't know if you've heard that saying before, but yeah, once you've kind of felt the emotion, it then releases itself, and the energy of it can transmute. And if you cultivate the mindful awareness to kind of hold space for this emotion, whatever it is, whether it's sadness, anger, jealousy, resentment, if you can be mindful enough to hold space for this emotion as it arises, if you can hold it in the light of your awareness, then you can actually watch it begin to transform. When you hold space for it and allow the emotion to just be, it does shift. It can release. It's no longer trapped because you've given it that space to come out. You gotta feel to heal. Yeah. And this is easier said than done sometimes, because when you're feeling such intense emotions, that can trigger your thought streams and your mental chatter, because your mind wants to come up with reasons or stories why you're feeling crap, basically. So it's just being aware of this and trying to stay as centered as you can when allowing these emotions to come to the surface. Because if you allow yourself to get swept off by your thought stream, if you fall in the thought stream and allow your mind to go wild in response to these emotions, and that's just a recipe for disaster. It's just a vicious circle, because as your thoughts spin out of control, that makes you feel even worse, and then your mind comes up with more stories, more rumours, being whispered into your ear that you may end up believing is true. And before you know it, you're just in a right old tizzy. So, I think mindful awareness is key when facing difficult emotions. If you're going to meet them and hold space for them, you need to cultivate mindful awareness. And that can be done through meditation, through other practices that cultivate mindfulness, such as various breathing techniques. I invite you to check out such things if you're interested in mindful awareness. All it is really is coming to know yourself and how you can observe what's going on inside you, and realise that you're not these shifting emotions, and you're not your thought stream either. You're kind of the awareness that lies behind those things. So, you know, it can be difficult to deal with painful emotions, and I totally understand why people would want to lock them away in the basement or try and cover them up. But ultimately, I think it's better not to bottle things up. I think it's much healthier to get things out of your system and find healthy outlets for your anger, for your sadness, whatever it is. And there's value in all emotions as well. You know, we're all messengers of some sort. We're all trying to tell you something about your experience. You know, so if you're feeling sadness about something, it might just show that you care about something that you've lost. Or it might be totally reasonable for you to feel anger. But you know, there was a poem by Rumi which talks about emotions, about welcoming each emotion at the door. So the poem talks about this experience of being human as being like a guest house, and he encourages us to welcome in our emotions as honoured guests. Welcome them at the door laughing, whether it's a wave of sorrows that trash our house, whether it's joy, whether it's ecstasy, whatever it is. And that's a beautiful thing when you begin to see the value of all emotions. It's not just the sadness or the undesired emotions that you meet. You actually create space to welcome the genuine joy and ecstasy as well. Which, you know, the depths of genuine bliss that we can that we can feel as humans is vastly untapped. Vastly untapped by a lot of people, and that's such a shame. The exploring the depths of all the emotions, to be honest. There really is value in them all, and you know, stuff. Emotions like anger can really be, if that energy is channeled in the right sort of way, that anger can really be productive. Like, for example, anger can really be channeled into running a campaign, or protesting, for example. That energy of anger, the anger of injustice, that energy can really fuel someone in their actions. So our anger could be channeled into being an advocate for injustice. That's just one example. But emotions can definitely be channeled productively, the energy of them, or transmuted, or just felt and released. You gotta feel to heal. So I hope moving forward from here, you're inspired to welcome your emotions at the door, laughing, as Rumi invited us to do. And yeah, I hope there's less cover up and less bottling up as well. And here's hoping for more healthy expression of all of our many rich emotions and feeling, and the hidden treasures that each emotion can bring. Go well, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.